everybody. We are live today with the best in the business, Mariah Davis over at Oakview Insurance. How you doing today, Mariah?
I'm doing awesome. How are you, Matt?
I'm good. It's been a lot of weather lately, huh? I bet you guys have been swamped.
Yeah, it's been a very interesting couple of months with all the weather. We've been dealing with a lot of fallen trees, roof leaks, all kinds of craziness. I mean, it does always pick up claim-wise when we have crazy weather we think is crazy in California. I know other parts of the country don't really feel like it's that nuts over here. So.
We get a little bit of rain. We're like, oh my God, what's going on? And meanwhile, everybody in, Midwest is like swamped out with snow and blizzards and all kinds
Yeah, like they get, massive hail, tornadoes, hurricanes. So I mean, we really can't complain, even when we tend to get all of our water at once.
Yeah, for sure. Man, your business blew my mind recently. Like we had a little problem at our house. I'm sure you heard about it.
I did.
Yeah. And I was just blown away that you guys had Clean Right Build Right out to make it safe, like within 4 hours, something like that. They were here. And everything was handled. Like didn't have to worry about it. We really appreciate it.
Oh, I mean, we were happy to help. I mean, luckily, Janelle, your wife, was able to call in right away.
Yeah.
And we could just kind of get everything moving forward. So it helps to have good partners that we can rely on to call as well. But hey, I'm sure glad that wasn't a worse situation than it was.
Sure.
So.
And this is like the second time we've had to call you guys. We remember, I think it was a couple years ago, we had a huge windstorm through here, and it was like 70-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah.
Blew down our fence, and it's the same situation with that, man. It was just an easy process. Like I always dread calling any kind of company, right?
Yeah, when you have to deal with.
Janelle takes care of most of that because, the second I get any like pushback on anything, I start just falling apart. I'm like, I can't handle this with these people, So she does really well getting on the phone and talking with them. And, I've been on the phone with your company so many times just through what I do for a living. And every single time it's just the best experience, that you have like the best employees I've ever met.
Thank you. We really appreciate that. And we really work hard to be friendly, responsive, and empathetic, especially with a claim. A lot of it is confusing. I mean, most people don't go through claims often. I mean, that's what you really hope for too, right? Like you don't want to be going through claims all the time. So we try to offer as much guidance as we can, and we're really there also to step in if something does kind of get haywire, goes off track. What can we do to help get it back on track and get a resolution?
How long have you been in this business?
It's going to be 17 years this summer, which is just shocking to me. I don't know where that time has gone or how it's possibly been that long, but it has been. So
yeah, there's benefits to being in the business that long, right? Like, it kind of sucks to look back on life and be like, oh man, I've been doing this a long time. But the experience that you have really shows in comparison to anybody else, so.
Well, there is just stuff that you run into that you can't learn until you've gone through it. Like the textbook just can't teach you some of this. Like you have to run into this experience, and especially with insurance, it's an ever-changing marketplace. Our companies are changing underwriting. Things are very difficult in California right now in general. So, you're always learning, you're pivoting, you're figuring out what's the next best thing that we're going to be able to offer our clients. And so it's never boring, which I know people are like, oh, insurance, that's not exactly exciting. I'm like, trust me, when you work with as many companies as we do, somebody is changing something weekly. So
Right. And I mean, here in California, we spoke just a second ago about how temperate our climate really is at the end of the day, right? But
yeah,
one thing that we do have more than I think anybody else is fire,
we
and
do.
like a ton of it. And from the real estate side, it is such a hurdle at this point because some people need to live in the mountains, Mariah. Like I've
Right?
I've dealt with some clients that you don't want them coming into the city more than like once every couple of weeks. They love their privacy and they love living out in the wilderness, and it seems like it's becoming more and more difficult for them to sustain out there because of
It is.
the fire insurance premiums.
It's changed so much and really so rapidly.
Right.
I think it's 2016 or 2017. I think was Santa Rosa, and I get those dates
Hmm.
off now. But that really was our first shift, and then Paradise and the campfire really just shattered our marketplace.
Right.
We hadn't had prior to these fires. Fires take out whole towns.
Right.
So, the underwriting completely changed. Sorry, I kind of got a hair there in my face for a second. But I know all the underwriting, changed, and companies all of a sudden were very concerned with their concentration.
Wow.
During the campfire in Paradise, we actually lost an insurance company. It
Really.
was Merced Mutual. They had more claims than they could handle, and they went out
Really?
of business.
Oh wow.
So the landscape changed on what these insurance companies are going to be willing to take risk wise.
Yeah.
And we've just seen that these fires are wind driven now. So it's a totally different kind of event. That's where
Yeah.
you're seeing these huge amount of acres burn, and they move really fast. So
Right.
we've lost property, but we've lost lives too.
Yeah.
So that shift has made it very difficult, and I do really just feel awful for folks who are, already established. They've been in their home in the hills for years,
Yeah.
and they get non-renewed, and their premium, went from 1,000 to 6,000.
All right.
For some folks, that's really more than they can afford.
Yeah.
But we're starting to just get comfortable with those premiums. When all this started, if I gave somebody a $6,000 homeowner's premium, like my jaw would have dropped. It probably was a
Mhm.
high value home,
Yeah.
10,000 square feet, insured for a lot. And now it's not the case.
Right.
I can give those out all day long if you're in a high enough fire risk location. So
I remember I had a
I
I had a
hope.
client. I'm sure you remember Berry Creek when that went down.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were
We
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 were
lost several.
we were in
Yeah.
escrow with a client that yeah, we're like 3 days from closing, and like this huge gorilla of an escrow, with just a bunch of hair stuck in it. And 3 days before closing, I was like, "This is it. We're actually going to close this one. This is amazing." And then the whole town burned down. I was like, "Oh," having to deal with the client, and they were wondering about why they were paying they were quoted such a high
Premium.
premium, and they found out the hard way. Luckily, we weren't closed, so they didn't.
Right.
They got their
Right.
MD back, and we went back to looking. But I mean, it was just insane. Like I never thought I would deal with that.
And it's just normal for our office to lose, 10 homes a year plus
Right.
to wildfire. And that's abnormal prior to, the last 5 to 6 years. I mean,
Sure.
you would lose maybe one every couple of years.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, things are changed. I mean, there's still companies out there that are available that are writing. It's just our buyers are just going to have to be aware of the fact that premiums are up, especially in the hills, but premiums are going to be up throughout the whole state,
Right.
just due to losses, inflation, kind of the whole kit and caboodle on that.
Yeah. So, what other kind of insurance do you guys do other than homeowners?
We do a lot in the personal space, so that's going to be like your auto, motorcycles, toys. We do a lot of private flood insurance.
Okay.
And then on the commercial side, we do a lot of habitational, so like apartments, commercial buildings, and then we also have a farm and ag department.
Okay.
So we
No,
handle, everything from your small, what we call like hobby or gentleman farm, up to like
right.
full corporate farms.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I always
yeah,
wondered that because we've only dealt with you guys for like homeowners insurance. We have
yeah.
for our personal, but then clients and stuff. And I've always wondered like what else do they do over there?
Yeah,
That's
we do a lot. What we don't do is anything with health insurance.
got it.
We right now we work with several partners that we feel comfortable sending our clients to.
Right.
It's hard to be everything to everyone,
I
and
get it.
so
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
it's just an arena we have currently stayed out of, and maybe at one point we'll open in a whole health department, but for right now that those get referred out.
Seems like here in Yuba City, at least, it would be beneficial. I mean, we have a lot of medical stuff going in all over town. It seems like,
We
but
do. We are lucky to have several agents who really specialize in health and like
mm,
health only. So it's worked out to be a really great partnership.
right.
And they take great care of our clients, and then they send some folks over to us as well. So
Yeah. Referral business is wonderful. I mean, coming from real estate, man, I'm like, what?
yeah, it is, and it's just great to build up your referral network
Yeah.
too. Talking about that, I can't be everything to all people.
Right.
Sometimes I don't have the right fit for somebody, and so
Right.
it's great to know that, hey,
Mm,
I've got some great partners, in insurance who do similar things to what I do, but we can help folks out and pass clients back and forth depending on the product, and who can best meet the need.
right. And then as far as like areas that you cover, right? Like geographical,
Yeah.
how how far do you take clients? Like, are you able to do insurance in different states, or is it
We are,
like moving
depending
around
on,
in
yeah,
California?
yeah, we're licensed currently in California, Oregon, Washington, Idaho, and Nevada.
Okay.
So we kind of right, the West Coast and a little bit over. We had to pick up that Idaho license because we had so many of our clients
Hmm.
um,
Oh yeah.
moving to the
Yeah.
state of Idaho. So we wanted to, continue to be their agent. So we were able
Right.
to get a license and then work with the companies to offer insurance there as well. But yeah, we're able to write in all of those states.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I mean, we have clients all over, and all over California. California is our largest client base.
Sure. That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah, we've expanded quite a bit. So
And it only took 17 years. Look at
right, and two businesses, and yeah.
that. So what's this other business I see you guys promoting all the time with the wine?
Yeah, so my husband and I are partners in a wine boutique winery. It's called Bailarine Cellars, and
Mhm.
we basically get all of our grapes from Sonoma County. We do a little bit in Mendocino County, and we have a tasting room on K Street in downtown Sacramento. It's right over by the Golden One.
That's awesome.
And it's been just a fun project. My husband and I both really enjoy wine, and so being able to be with friends
Yeah.
in a business project has just been great, and
I
we've
just
been lucky.
doing
And
something different, right? Like,
it is completely different from the insurance side, and it's fun. We love being able to go down to the tasting room.
yeah.
And we've been lucky enough. We have a wonderful winemaker, and we've had several wines highly rated through Wine Enthusiast. So it's been a fun project, and we're interested to see where it takes us next.
That's awesome. So if people want to get insurance, how do they get a hold of Oakview?
Yeah, I mean, you can visit our website. It's oakviewins.com. We have our phone numbers there. You can reach out us through the contact us. You could also Facebook us. We respond on that, or right on Google. You can
Mhm.
send a message that way. So we're fairly accessible. You can even text our main number, and we can reply back that way as well. So
Well, hey, I really appreciate you coming on with me today.
yeah, thanks for having me, Matt. It was
Yeah.
really great to catch up.
Yeah, you too. Stick around for a second.
All right, great. Thanks.